said don't do crystal meth in the bathroom all night long.
That's my opinion!
He will never emotionally fulfill you.
Because I don't want to be a part of it.
Go to sleep! Go to sleep!
Close your legs to married men, trash box.
I'll tell you how I'm doing. Not well, bitch.
Who gonna check me, boo?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Morally Corrupt. I am Rachel Lindsay, and you know what time it is. It's Tuesday. It is our Bravo News Day, which means I am joined by a very special guest, someone who I have not had the pleasure of meeting in person, but I am such a fan of this person, not just because they're tapped into the Bravo world, which we all know and love, but just because they are hilarious, they are brilliant, they are so talented. I'm talking about Joel Kim Booster, you guys.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, you know him. You love him from his stand-up special, Psychosexual, the hit film Fire Island, which is still one of my favorite. Can I be honest with you? I was not tapped in to Fire Island, to the history, to the
you're not necessarily the audience, so no one can blame you. No one can blame you.
But I am an ally.
Yes.
I should know better. I should know better. But I was like, wow, I went down like a dark hole after that. Anyways, it was such a funny movie. Such a fan of that. You guys also know him from his work on shows like Loot and Big Mouth. And of course, him hosting Love Hotel. And can I also just say, I appreciated all the news surrounding Love Hotel. I just have to say, I just love it all. I love it all.
Yeah, I can tell you who didn't love it, my fiance. So
Fair.
He's not a happy camper with me, but you know,
fair.
He knows what he's getting into when he's marrying into.
Fair. Yeah, and it's what we'll call a gift and a curse, right? It's what they love about us, but also they can't stand at the same time. I do not have a fiance, but it's pretty much the same thing for me. But no, it's a gift and curse. It's what they love about us, but also can't stand at the same time, which I call a treat.
I mean, when we first met, Bravo was the only thing I was allowed to watch without him. So like when I was touring or traveling or something like that, because he had no interest in Bravo. And now I've watched enough of it while he's like on the couch reading or something like that. And he's absorbed so much of it through osmosis that now he does have opinions and he is invested. Like he is so invested in Salt Lake that it's gotten to the point now, if I watch it without him, he'll like claim not to be upset, but he will make me watch it again.
Okay. I love him because the fact that, because but can I just say this to you? Isn't it a proud moment when, for you, you're engaged, but like when you're dating somebody and they're not into it, and then all of a sudden, like you see their eyes kind of look up or they start to ask questions. And usually the question is that Atlanta? Is that Salt Lake? Is that Potomac? And for me, those moments I'm like, well, you got that one right. It actually is. And they're interested in the story. So it has to be a proud moment now.
I will never forget the moment he said, why does every Real Housewives franchise featuring white women have a housewife that looks exactly like Dr. Nicole or Whitney? That's his other one. And I was like, it's so true. I was like, it's so true. Every single one that features a white woman has a white woman that is in that lane, has that haircut, that coloring, all of it.
It's such a smart observation, which I love even more now. Love that. Okay, so is Love Hotel, I don't even know. Is it coming back for a second season?
I don't think anybody knows. I'm not even sure if Andy Cohen himself knows quite yet if it's coming back or not. I've heard a lot of rumors. I've heard a lot of rumors about the plans for it if it does come back, but I am not. If anyone... I mean, maybe it is coming back, and I just have not been made aware yet.
No,
which is definitely very possible. But and the thing is I think it did fairly well. I mean, they liked it enough that they moved it from Peacock to Bravo. So that's a good sign. And I think the people who liked it really liked it. I think that like not everybody is interested in these like offshoots like Wife Swap and stuff like that, which I'm enjoying. But like not everybody is in. A lot of people are traditionalists. They just want to see their housewives in their cities, maybe possibly playing Traitors, but that's about it. Which, by the way, when the fuck are you going on Traitors? I know we're talking about it later, but
thank you. Thank you. I no, we can touch on it now, and then I want to circle back to Love Hotel because there's a genius apart with that show. But I actually threw my name like in the ring for Traitors. I was like,
Wow.
hey, I haven't done reality TV in 8 years. This is a show that I would come back and do. I'm a fan of it. I think it's just something just new and refreshing. And I don't want to say I'd be good. I honestly feel like I would be like a Johnny Bananas that they would vote out very early because they're like, oh wait, wasn't she a lawyer?
Yeah.
But I still want to do it. And then they pick Colton, which is fine. I'll root for Colton.
The thing about like the early stages of Traitors is it is so frustrating because you have nothing to go on. So of course I can absolutely see them being like, she's a lawyer. She's good at like, something. Like they're literally like grasping at straws, and the littlest things they will latch onto and vote these people out
Mhm.
early on. Like I know if I went on, I know I would go out early because they'd be like, he's an actor. He's good,
Yeah.
like he's
Yeah.
he's pretending right now. That's what he does for a living, and I would go out like second or third because of that.
No, for sure. That's like, and somehow the gamers always make it to the end. That's why
I
it's like if I
know.
came in, I would be like, let's start like an alliance and get the gamers out of here. Can we start with
Which
that
is kind of
first?
what they did last season, which is kind of what they ended up eventually clearing house, but it was
Eventually.
just Gabby and Dylan and Dolores. Like it can be done, but that felt more accidental than on purpose.
Then purposeful. Like I'd come in just actually I'm not gonna say what I would do because I
Yes,
hope to be on the
exactly,
show
because
one
it's still on
day
the
and I
table.
don't want
It's
to say
still
too
on the
much.
table.
I don't want to say too much. But to your point about some people maybe not being as a fan of some of the other spin-off shows, that aren't housewife housewife shows, but use housewives. But I think what's great, so great about Love Hotel is that let's be honest, the shows are called Real Housewives of, but most of the women are not wives. So that's what's so great about Love Hotel because it gives us an opportunity to still tap into some of our favorites, but then watch them possibly find love because they're not wives, even though that's kind of what they're billed as. And I
Well,
think that that's so fun.
I agree. And here's the thing. So I've heard a lot of rumors floating around that the second season, they want to feature men of Bravo. So like Shep and Jesse Lawley
No,
and Tom, Sandoval, things like that. And I think if that rumor is true, it displays a fundamental lack of understanding about what made season one work and what people
exactly.
actually want to watch. Because here's what I will say about this. I think the sort of the biggest reason why I don't think it would work as well is one of the biggest charming things about season one is that none of those men knew who any of those women were.
Yeah.
They walked in blind, no clue. And like, sure, like maybe some of them had dipped in a little bit before they came, but I believe it. I was there. I was on the ground with them. Those guys had no idea what they were getting into in terms of who these
Yeah.
ladies were. And if you did younger guys like they're talking, like the rumor I've heard, I'm sorry, but all of those women would come on knowing who these guys are. Every single
Well,
one.
we've already watched Fuckboy Island. So
I
we don't
know.
need to do
Exactly.
any kind of iteration of that kind of show. And what I liked, I mean, minus Ashley, what I liked is that the women were of a certain age and it was giving that and just like that feel of
Hmm.
kind of tapping into what made the Golden Bachelor so good when it first
Yeah.
came out is we don't really get to see this group of people find love and we should. It's very relatable and realistic. So if you bring on the people, it's like Shep's already had a dating show. Jesse Lawley needs therapy. And Tom Sandoval, I'll just leave it right there. I
Yeah.
don't want to see it. So hopefully, it is a great rumor though.
I don't think many people do. And the thing is I hopefully it is just a rumor. And hopefully if they are thinking about it, I'm not the only person who's been talking about this rumor and talking about how it's such a bad idea. So I
Mhm.
hopefully they will hear the scuttle and they will hear what the people are clamoring for, which is, I think people want to see like Dorinda or I mean maybe, they want to,
Sonia.
there are so many single ladies. Sonia, such a great example. Like give me
Mhm.
Sonia any day. I would love to see that. Go off I definitely think we should spread it out amongst franchises. I think like
Yeah.
Two Potomac was a little like it just felt like a hat on a hat for
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
reasons. And yeah, give us young, give us old. I mean, preferably give us old.
Can you
But
imagine Sonia and Adriana on this, like,
Sonia, I literally
together?
I bring up Adriana on that
So good.
doing Love Hotel all the time, and then you add in somebody like oh, I just had it in my head. Who did I think was gonna be so good? Oh, Brittany from Salt Lake.
Oh
Can you
gosh.
imagine Brittany from Salt Lake
That's a good
on
one.
Love Hotel? I mean,
Yeah.
the way she would be like a pig in shit, first of all, and then to watch her completely unravel. I mean, it would be really something else. I think
That's
it's
an
such a missed
excellent.
opportunity to not have a show like Love Hotel and not cast someone like Brittany when she's
Oh,
right there.
excellent
She's right
casting.
there.
And we got a sneak peek of how she is with men when she's on the yacht trying to flirt
Oh
with some
boy.
of the crew and Captain Jason. She was very awkward, and I was a little surprised by that. So I want to see that on Love Hotel.
I think part of the reason she goes back to Jared so frequently is I don't think she has game. I don't think I think she struggles in the game department, and
Yeah.
she's already got him sort of on the back burner to some extent, and so I think that's
Yeah.
part of the reason why she goes back. She goes out into the wild, she tries, and she sees how hard it is, and says, "Fuck
Yeah.
that! I'm going to go back to the safety of this man."
Yeah, which makes sense, right? Growing up probably in Mormon culture.
Well, and she was married for a long time, a
She was
mom for a
married.
long time, as we
Mhm,
saw a
mhm,
few weeks ago. Like, it seems like she was pretty engaged with her family and her kids.
mhm.
So, yeah, when
Yeah.
would she have time to learn that?
Yeah. We just did the heavy lifting for Bravo. So I hope somebody's listening to this or cuts this and sends this to the powers that be to make this happen. You're hosting it. We're doing all the things. Wait, are you going to BravoCon?
I'm not going to BravoCon. I'm
Okay.
filming
Okay.
right now, so I couldn't go.
Okay. Well, good for you. Booked and busy. Not mad at it. But if you were going to BravoCon, who would you be most excited to see?
I would actually be really excited to meet Ariana Bierman. I think she
Right.
is probably like the biggest surprise out of every Bravo show that's aired this past year. If you would like,
Mhm.
I was not hyped for Next Gen, I must
Same.
say. I was
Same.
not hyped for it. I was like, I want them in their 50s minimum, like give me that. And I was not excited about it. I certainly, if you had told me going in that I would be standing Ariana Bierman, Kim Zolciak's, lesser known daughter, I would
Right.
not have believed you. But I
I'm with
left
you.
so charmed, and she's so winning. She's so good.
Mhm.
She's such good TV. I loved
Yeah.
the rekindling of her and Riley's friendship. I
Right.
loved like seeing Candy. My favorite one of my favorite moments from the rekindling of that friendship was when she was on the phone with her mom, and she sort of goes like, Riley goes like, "What did happen between you and her mom?" And Candy is in mom mode and just goes, "That's none of your business. That's not your business to ask. Like, just
Mhm,
worry about
mhm.
you and your relationship with Ariana." And it's like, it's such good parenting, but at the same time, it's like, she could just go read the Wikipedia page. Like,
Right.
she could go roll the footage back. Candy, you might as well just tell her she could go watch it on when they play like an Atlanta marathon on a Sunday or something like that. But no,
Right.
I really thought Ariana sort of walked away with that show in a big way. I think she came out the biggest winner out of all of that cast. And so
I
I would
love
love to see
that.
that.
I could not agree with you more. Ariana is the sole reason I started watching Next Gen. I was like, too much on my plate. And then the moment that the clip came out after the first episode aired and the clip came out about her saying that she pays Kim's bills, I
Mm-hmm.
said, and now I'm watching. Like, she is the reason I watched. I'm so glad I did. It was so good. So speaking of that, the BravoCon lineup has been updated, which I didn't even know they did that. It's been
Yeah.
updated, and they've added 2 people, one of them being from Next Gen. So glad you watched that. Is Charlie, which
I
I'm
saw that. I
thinking,
saw that in the notes, and I was kind of shocked when I
me
saw that, because I
too.
thought for sure there is no way this boy is coming back to do this show. I think
Yeah.
I think one of the most fascinating parts of this first season was watching him realize in real time that this was a show about the kids of Housewives and Bravo stars. Like, I don't
And not him.
think that's the bill of goods he was sold, because you
Mhm.
could tell that he thought he was going to be sort of the center star of this show. And I think when Ariana comes in and and like all of that bullshit about like, oh, you've been trained for this, you've been groomed for this, or whatever the bullshit he was saying. Like, now, granted, he's a fantastic reality show character.
I do want him back.
He's giving all of the, drama and the abrasiveness, and then you see him with his dad, and you sort of understand. Like that makes a great villain. Like when they're villainous, but then you get a peek into why they are the way they are.
Yes,
it's always so fascinating, and you see it with the dad and the mom, quite frankly.
Well, yes. It's like the Joker, right? When when you understand the origin, you get conflicted. Like, well, now I feel sorry for you because I understand your journey. I understand how you became the villain that you are. So then it's like, well, do I excuse it because I feel sorry for you, or do I just hold you accountable because you're an adult?
But I mean, the thing is he got so brutalized, I think, rightly so, on that show, and then all this stuff comes. I mean, I can't believe he didn't get cut off. I mean, if I was his father, hearing some of the things, the way he was speaking about his dad, warranted or not, you'd think the dad would be cutting him off at this point. And then also he was photographed in the pictures of that like crypto kidnapping.
Yeah.
He was implicated in that as well. And it's like, you'd think the last thing this boy wants is more attention at this point.
Well, he could be cut off, and it could be that he needs the money, which is why he wants to do the second season. But also, we didn't get a reunion with them. And so my thought is this is more of kind of a reunion on stage, maybe. In addition to teasing the fact that they're right in the middle of season 2. And we already know that, Georgia and Riley get into it. We know that Ariana and her boyfriend aren't together anymore. So there's like so much stuff already that's coming with this season.
Which is I'm sad about because
Charlie.
I did like them. I did like that chicken air. I thought he was good for her. I thought their relationship was very sweet.
Air.
And I do wonder what the future holds. I got to say really quickly too, before we move on, about Riley. I think Riley also was like such a star and such a revelation too. Like some of the conversations that she was forced to have on that show.
Yeah.
Were, I mean, to be as self-possessed as she is at 22, to have that conversation, to explain to some of these people about the complications of being a person of color, specifically a Black woman, with the, like, I find that conversation hard to have at 36 years old. 37 years old. Sorry. Oops, forgot. I'm almost 40, and I find it really hard to have that conversation with friends sometimes when it needs to be had. And for her to be able to have that conversation so again, like she was so strong and so clear about what she was feeling and what was wrong in that situation. I just thought it was so impressive. And I think it's a testament, I think, to Candy as a mother.
For sure. And not only did she have the conversation in the way that you said it, she was dismissed and still was able to hold her own and her composure. And to be honest, because she has to, and she knows that. She doesn't get to walk that way in the same path that a Charlie does in that instance. So I hope she's not subjected to that again this season.
It's
with
really
what's
not
already coming
to watch.
out, I'm not happy about it. I'm like, with the story that's coming out with her in Georgia, I'm like, I don't want Riley to have to go through another season of this.
No.
But TBD, the other big surprise is that Karen Huger has been announced in the lineup, which I am thrilled. And last year I got to do the Potomac panel, and I'm so upset now that I'm not doing it this year because she's been announced, and I don't even know if she's going to be on the panel.
And there's a lot
to
talk about coming out of Potomac too. I mean,
there's a lot, and they probably won't. That's the question is, will they subject her to the Q&A from the audience? Because they don't restrict the audience format. They can ask anything they want to, which to me is the beauty of BravoCon. It's like what makes it so great and authentic.
It's democratized in that way. Yeah.
Yes. And I just wonder if they will subject her to that. I mean, I'm sure she has like a blanket answer to give if she is asked those questions, but I'm okay with her coming. I am sure for some people, they might be upset just because it could be looked at as she went to jail, she got out early, and now she's being rewarded for it. What are your thoughts?
I guess I see that why some people would feel that way. I guess for me, it's less. showing up at BravoCon, I think, is less of a moral endorsement of her behavior and more of like, I don't know, this is her job. Like, I don't know. Like, I just don't see like an invite to BravoCon to be any sort of endorsement of behavior. And I think rightfully, I do think that she's going to get sort of be in the hot seat and really get some tough questions. And so I think it's almost easier on them to skip, you know, and to avoid the scrutiny. Because like, I mean, God knows I'd love to see Dr. Wendy show up to BravoCon because I have never seen someone respond to being arrested in such a wild, crazy way. Just
I think
totally disregarding all of it.
I think Wendy's going to be there. I just don't think they're going to announce it.
Ooh, I can't wait to see how that turns out. The way she's still posting, tune in to Potomac on Sunday, a brand new Potomac on Sunday night. Like, she's still promoting the show, and God bless her for that, because that is real. Like, I've wavered on how I feel about Wendy as a housewife, but that's housewife behavior for sure. To just sort of, you know, close your eyes or plug your ears and say, la, 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 la. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. What's happening is a brand new episode of Potomac airing this Sunday.
Delusion is an ingredient I want or characteristic I want in every housewife.
Exactly.
To be a fantastic housewife, you have to be delusional. However, because we're going to have to watch this whole season play out, I'd rather the delusion show there than you on your Instagram. I mean, she was posting about the wife swap and all of that. And, you know, I am telling you, I don't know why this case, I'm sure the listeners are so tired of me talking about it, and I'm not going to get into the details, but this is on my mind. For Bravo News, I'm constantly thinking about the Wendy case because I do like Wendy and I root for Wendy. And I just don't understand how, if it is what it is, that you were that, stupid with it. I'll just say it that way. And so I just keep thinking, how can I look at this from another way where it can't be true? And I just can't find it.
I mean, the evidence is pretty damning that we've seen come out. The email is pretty damning. I mean, and that is, and ultimately, I think, you know, and this is the last I can say on this, because I know you don't want to spend too much time on it, but I just feel so devastated for her family. Like, those boys, her mother didn't even want her to quit being a professor, let alone like, what is this going to do to that poor woman? Like, I just feel like I can't stop thinking about her family and whether or not, you know, she did it or she didn't do it or what happens to her now. Like, this has got to be brutal for her family. And that's just that you never want to see that.
I couldn't agree with you more. I said the same thing. I was like, Eddie, obviously, I mean, I know it's rumored that he was not working, but let's just say he was. It's him being implicated in something like this is not great for being a lawyer. It's going to be very hard to find a job. She is no longer a professor. She says she stepped away, whatever it is, she's not making income from that. We don't know what her future will be like with Housewives. So it's like, how do Eddie and Wendy support this family? You know,
I would not be surprised. I mean, just knowing how Teresa was sort of treated around her arrest as well. I think she's definitely going to come back because Andy also, okay. I'm pretty sure Andy really likes her just based on the way he's sort of handled this situation and the way he's responded to guests on Watch What Happens Live, who have sort of really come for Wendy as well. It is my sneaking suspicion that Andy has a lot of affection for Wendy. And I think that he's going to give her the Teresa treatment. You know, it's what a gripping storyline to have over the course of the season, you know, this legal battle.
It is. It really is. I don't know where I stand if I want her to come back. The verdict is still out for me on that, as it is for her as well. No pun intended. But one of them is going to have to take the fall. That's what I think is going to end up happening. And then that's your storyline. Because if it's Eddie, because since Eddie sent the email, if it's Eddie, then it's her picking up the pieces of having to support this family and all of that. So, you know, will be interesting to see what happens with that. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The trailer has come out. The premiere date is December 4th. It's right around the corner. I did not know we were getting it this soon. This is very exciting. We're getting a lot of new stuff. A lot of shows are coming up right around the holidays. So happy holidays to us with that.
Thank God.
Season 15. Now, I'm interested in your take on trailers. I prefer a lackluster trailer. So then my expectations are not too high for the upcoming season. This trailer is juicy, and I'm afraid I'm going to be let down. I mean, we're getting new people, some we know, some we don't. New characters are being introduced, new storylines. It looks good.
I
It looks
have
really
to
good.
say, I agree with you on trailers to some degree. I also think that Beverly Hills, for the last couple of seasons, has had a pretty good trailer, and then we found out that a lot of it was in the trailer and not
Right.
much else. And
Right.
I think that's a worry I have with Beverly Hills specifically, more so than a lot of other franchises. And so
Mhm.
I'm with you. I'm like cautiously optimistic about this season, but
Yeah.
I never go into Beverly Hills. I've been burned too many times before
I
by Beverly
know.
Hills, you know,
I
and so
know.
I never go in with high expectations anymore. But I'm ready to be proven wrong, and I'm ready to
Same.
be, you know, surprised and delighted by this season.
Same. I'm right there with you. I think the only thing that gives me a little bit of hope are new people. Like I
Yeah.
knew we were getting Rachel Zoe, but this Amanda, who's Amanda?
I didn't
Who's-
know.
Where'd she come from?
I guess she got swallowed up in the Rachel Zoe news because, like,
Yeah.
no one was talking about her before this trailer, and I didn't even know there was going to be an additional cast member on top of Rachel Zoe. So
Yeah.
I'm fascinated. It looks like she's coming for Dorit, which Dorit is a beautiful woman, but Amanda is sort of giving like young Dorit.
Yes.
like,
Yes.
in
If
some
you
ways.
say that, then you know Dorit feels that, by the way.
Yes. And I think that's good. And I think from what the comment Amanda made about you tied your financial future to a man and I'm self-made or whatever, I think that has to be about Dorit. So it'll be
It has
interesting
to.
to see those two go head to head, because I gotta tell you, I like new Dorit. I liked an activated Dorit. Do I need to see Dorit versus Kyle for another season
No.
play out? No. I would like to see her go head to head with somebody else, and if
Yes.
it's Amanda and Amanda gives, then by God, I'm excited to see it.
We absolutely have the same thoughts on this. I loved Dorit being activated, but it got old and it felt performative.
Mhm.
Like we know a lot of this is, but please don't let it be so obvious. Don't let it be so obvious that that's exactly what's going down. But yes, Amanda has come in to activate. I'm wondering who she's a friend of. I don't know if I got that from the trailer. I'm wondering who brings her in.
It would
and
make sense that it would make sense in a structural way that she is Sutton's friend because Sutton needs friends. But just looking at them, I don't know how that could be possible. But I mean, stranger things have happened. Certainly, stranger relationships have been formed. I mean, let's not forget Brittany is Heather's friend, still the cry on Reed. So,
Allegedly.
you know, yeah.
Allegedly,
So
like-
it is anyone's game to guess who she's friends with for sure.
I think I just speak with everyone when I say, since we don't know much about Amanda and I didn't do any research about her, I kind of want to go in fresh. I didn't do research about her before this podcast. I think I speak for everyone when I say, dear God, please don't let her be an Anna Marie.
Oh my goodness.
Who I knew before, and it is a tragedy.
Yeah, it's rough. They have not had a good track record on that show with newbies. They really have not.
Except for Bose.
Bose broke the curse a little bit, but it has been a rotating cast of flops that they've brought in since for the last many seasons. Pretty much since they introduced Sutton and on the show, like they have not had a high success rate. So I'm interested to see what she brings. I'm really excited for Rachel Zoe. I was right there on the ground floor watching Rachel Zoe. I loved how she said, "I used to live here." I think it's really like, and it's so interesting to finally be in an era where we're bringing back old Bravo stars, like give me Tabitha Salon Takeover, the reboot, the revival. Like if that's where we're headed, if that's what we're doing now,
Joel,
put
I talk
Tabitha
about
on
that all the
Traitors.
time. I talk about that all the time. I'm like, where is Tabitha? Can somebody please find her? I'm talking bring back Patty Stanger. I want everybody back. You're so right. Just get what built the network, what brought us in. bring it back, even if it's for a year. Just something like that. That's so Tabitha. Oh my gosh. If you guys don't know, go back and watch old episodes, please. Do yourself a favor. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so we talked about this earlier. Traitors. We're both fans of the show. We both want to be on the show. We do. Oh my God, can you imagine if we're on it together?
Well, oh my God, that would be sick. Because I talked about this before. They offered me season 3.
What?
But I decided not to go on it. And then the conversation sort of turned into, well, like, what would you be interested in doing? And that turned into Love Hotel.
Even better. Even better.
And so, yeah, so do I regret, do I want to see the mirror universe where I did Traitors instead of host Love Hotel? Yeah, I would like to see that. I would like to be best friends with Gabby right now, like that seems unfair that I missed out on that. But no, I think my hesitation back then was I didn't want to be at the mercy of an editor that was not necessarily looking for my best takes. And I was also very worried that, and my partner pointed this out, that I stood a good chance of going on Traitors, which was a huge show, and in season 3 was even bigger, of that being the one thing most of America knows me from. And I did not want that to be the case yet in my career. And so I'm excited now that I'm doing the Scrubs reboot, which I think is going to be where most straight people in America know me from once it premieres. I'm like, okay, I think I can throw my name back in the ring once that's happened. But yes, it would be sick if we went on together.
No, you should. Okay, it'll happen. That was the smartest move. Your partner's so smart, because Love Hotel, do that. Traitors will be there. It's such a hit show. They're offering it up for civilians now at this point.
And I'm so excited about that. As much as I love our Bravo celebrities and our gamers, I watch the international seasons too. I watch UK, I watch Australia, I watch New Zealand, I watch all the English speaking spinoffs. And I find it to be a much better game when it's people who need the money, A, and B, watch the show. Like this was the other hesitation that I had going on, is that I'm such a huge fan of the show, and specifically the normie seasons on the international circuit, that I would find it deeply frustrating to play with at least half the cast not knowing how to play the game well. Like that. So that would frustrate me.
You want people to know how to play the game?
I think
want people to not know.
Here's the thing about if everybody is, knowing at least somewhat how to play the game, you can strategize around that. But going on with some of these housewives and other, non-gamers, unfortunately, you could strategize, but they're such a wild card. They're not acting in ways that you can predict because they don't know what the game. I mean, let's remember, Sheree barely understood where she was until the end of the season. And so it's impossible to predict how someone like that is going to play the game.
But that makes it great TV.
Oh, I would understand. No disagreement there.
It would be frustrating because you couldn't really strategize with yourself or with them. But as a viewer, it just makes it so good. So good.
I agree.
So who's going to be the Sheree on this season? So we know the release date is January 8th. For Housewives, we've got Lisa Rinna, Caroline Stanberry, Portia Williams, Candace Dillard, Dorinda Medley back again. And that's it for Housewives. Got some Bravo people.
Yeah, we got some other Bravo people. I think if anyone is going to sort of misunderstand the assignment, and I love her, she's in my top 5. It is Portia. Unfortunately, I don't think Portia is dumb by any means anymore. She has really leveled herself up. She is no longer someone who thinks the Underground Railroad was a real railroad. But do I think Portia's had the time?
265 days a year.
I don't think Portia has had the time to really dive into the Traitors. I'm not sure she really knows what Traitors is. I think, it'll be interesting to see, how locked in she is. But I actually think even Portia is kind of a stretch. I think all the housewives they brought on this season are pretty locked in and are pretty savvy social players.
I think so too. I agree with you though, with Portia, only because I know somebody who's worked with Portia on another show. It wasn't Housewives. And they said that Portia will be like, in confessionals, okay, well, tell me what you want me to say. Okay, tell me what you want me to do. And I just think that it's not even speaking towards her intellect. It's just more of like, I'm just here. I'm here for a good time. Yeah.
Yes.
But I could see her staying longer because she's so funny and she is such good TV that I think that the house, if that's what I'll call it, is going to love her.
I did a live version of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, which is this NPR podcast, and she was the guest. And when I tell you that this NPR highfalutin, like snooty intellectual audience was so put off by the announcement that Portia was going to be the guest because they're all, putting their nose up at Housewives, et cetera, et cetera. Like,
sure.
This is an NPR audience. And when I tell you she came out and was the most charming, charismatic person I have ever spoken to, she won those people over. By the end, they were eating out of the palm of her hand because she is a charisma bomb. Like, she's just like so likable, so winning that I would watch her do pretty much anything. And I'm excited to see her on Traitors.
Yes. She might be
even
one
if she
of the
doesn't know how to play
driving
the
forces.
game.
But that might be also her charm. She just might act like she doesn't, and people will believe it. And
I think that is a very likely, kind
of like what Phaedra did. But you know what I mean? There'll never be, you can't play it like Phaedra, but similar to that type of charm. Anybody else that you see? This is a long list of people. Is there anybody else you see that you're like, they could actually be really interesting and fun on this show?
I'm actually really excited for my friend, Monet Exchange. Following in Bob's footsteps. I'm sad they don't do more than one Drag Race girl in a season, really. I think they need to do more of them. I think they're a gold mine of drama. I think like they have a game player's mindset, even if they are, the game that they were on television for was nothing like this. I think Monet is going to do really well for the same reasons I think we think Portia is going to do well. I think Bob is likable and funny, but I think Bob is was really abrasive on the show. He takes over the energy of a space really quickly because he is so charismatic and funny. But I do think Monet has a more she charms people in a way that I don't think Bob does. And this is no shade to Bob. Bob is one of the all-time great winners of Drag Race. Bob is so funny, legitimately one of the funniest winners or contestants they've ever had on the show in a real way. But I do think Monet is a better social game player than Bob. And will make friends easier and will be, whether she's a traitor or a faithful, I do think that people will hesitate to vote her out. And I think she'll be I don't know. I'm excited to see her. I'm excited for, I think one of my other all-time favorite housewives, and I know this is a much more divisive take, is Candace. Now talk about somebody.
That's my girl.
I love Candace. I am obsessed with Candace. And I think that she's going to be, I think she's really smart. I do think she watches the show because she's posted about it before. I think it'll be really interesting to see how Candace plays the game. And I can't wait to see her at that table when someone rightly or wrongly accuses her of being a traitor, because we know, put the cutlery away, keep it away from the round table, because my girl be throwing some butter knives.
Between that and her dabbing her eyes for the the tissue is coming out.
Oh, we're getting a triangle. We're getting
at
a
the
triangle.
round table, at the in confessionals, on challenges, whatever it
when
may
she has
be.
to eat a bug.
It's definitely coming out, and they won't quite understand. We know, but they won't quite get it. I'm interested in how people handle Donna Kelsey because of the for fear of the wrath of the Swifties. She's got to win. She's got to make it to the end. For that reason alone.
I wonder. I think that if she does get taken out, it's going to be by one of the gamers, and it's going to be by someone who has no idea the cultural power that Mama Kelsey has. of the death grip that family has because of not only their
Right.
own fame and their own, successes in football, but also because of the Taylor thing. Like, it'll be so interesting to see if they're able to, if there's somebody who won't be in the know about,
Right.
how important she is to so many people.
Exactly. When I saw her announced, I was like, wait a second. Wait a second.
Yeah.
She's going to make
Do
it
you,
to the end. That's not even
do
fair.
you only know Colton then? Is the only bachelorette
He's the
person
only
that's on this season?
bachelor person on the show. I know Candace, but yeah, he's the only person from Bachelor. Is it usually, well, they've had two people on the franchise before,
Yeah.
but a lot of these
It'll be
people I
interesting.
am not familiar with because I don't watch Big Brother or Love
I'm not a
Island.
Big Brother person either, so you know what I will say about this? I've never watched Big Brother. I'm almost always really pleasantly like I always vibe with the Big Brother players that they grab for Traitors. I always find
Yeah.
that like it's a somewhat similar game, and I think that they're usually pretty good. My co-star from Loot, Ron Funches, is on. I'm very excited to see Ron on.
Oh,
I think
I just
Ron
met
is
him,
one
by
of
the way.
the most likable, like jovial, like it's impossible to hate him, and so I think that he'll make it fairly far. I imagine. I texted him when he got back, and I said, "How was it?" And he said it was the greatest experience of his life that no one should ever be put through. It was psychological torture, but the greatest thing he's ever done. So
That sounds terrifying. That makes me
Yeah.
not want to do it. Like, I don't want to step into that. I don't want to subject myself to that. I did actually meet him recently. He was at something that I was at.
He's lovely.
I do like Johnny Weir too.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for him and Tara. I think it'll be interesting. I think when you go on as a duo like that, though, or as two people who are really connected, you are begging for one of you to be a traitor and for one of you to be a faithful. Like, I think it would be a really missed opportunity if they did not make Johnny Weir a traitor at the start.
Oh, so you watched? I don't even want you to tell me. You watched so much of this show that, I mean, you take it international, that you could probably identify who the traitors are going to be before we even watch the show. But I don't want you to tell me.
They only want to do it for people who want to be traitors. They're never going to make somebody who doesn't want to be a traitor a traitor.
Really?
That's what they've said that in the past. And so if you say in those interviews that they usually show clips from, like, I really want to be a traitor or I don't want to be a traitor, they will listen to that. And so I have a feeling Johnny's going to be somebody who's going to be begging to be a traitor. And so it'll be interesting to see if they follow through on that. And I think that the fact that he is coming on with his best friend means that they're going to want one of them to be a traitor for sure at some point, whether they're recruited or not. But
we shall see. I'm very excited about this at the top of the year. Last bit of news before we go down memory lane for a quick second. Did you see this Christina Applegate tweet?
I sure as fuck did.
So we talked a little bit about it last week because we were kind of like, wait, what? Did it happen? Did it not happen? So, of course, it was about Salt Lake City because who is not watching Salt Lake City right now? But in response to a clip, for you guys who didn't see this, in response to a clip of the ladies on the Below Deck yacht on Salt Lake City, Christina Applegate wrote, "The treatment of the crew and my pals by the women was super gross. I hope they apologize to Jason and Daisy. Wow." And then she took it down.
I
wonder. Did you think this was bad?
This is the thing. I watch Below Deck. I watch a lot of Below Deck. In fact,
I do not.
Below Deck was an entry point for my partner. It was an early Bravo show he would watch because he, quote, only likes it when they have jobs. So
fair.
He really, really likes watching Bravo shows where they have jobs because he's like, I can better accurately judge them based on the work that they're doing. And so I've watched a lot of Below Deck, and I have to say, I don't think it was great, but it certainly probably barely registered to Daisy and crew. I gotta say.
Yeah.
Like, there was some bizarre behavior. I don't know if I've ever seen a guest sleep on the deck before. That, I think, was probably new for them. I think some of the throwing of the glass and the screaming has maybe at each other anyways, has ratcheted up. But I mean, I've seen people get kicked off the boat. You know, I've seen people be sort of viciously rude and elitist on those boats. And while I don't think it was great that they were ignoring them when they brought out the food, or at various points sort of ignoring them, I do not think that the behavior was as outrageous as I've seen in the past. And so, not to say that gives them a pass by any means, but you know, they seem like an interesting target for this kind of comment, because I think that there are way worse examples of people mistreating staff on these shows. Like, I mean, we've seen Ramona Singer on this show. We've seen, you know, Vicky Gunvalson on this show, on these shows, like not on Below Deck rather, but like just in general, like we've seen them how they treat service employees. So I think we've just seen a lot worse. And I think Christina probably felt it deeper though, because she is friends with those people. And so I'm sure she just felt it on a more visceral level than we did. But I don't know that it really ranks amongst even the top 10 worst guest experiences those people have had.
Yeah, I don't watch Below Deck. Has the episode aired on Below Deck where we get their version of it?
No, not yet.
So it hasn't. Okay. Yeah, so then based on what I saw, I don't think that it caused that type of response. But again, to your point, if she's personally friends with them, or maybe they said something to her, maybe she knows some behind the scenes things that we don't, and that made her write the tweet. I have no idea.
Listen, I can't fault her. I of all people would never fault someone for popping off on social media as a result of someone else's rudeness to your friends. So I am in no position to judge Christina Applegate.
Same.
And would never even think of it. So go off, Queen.
Go off, but if you're gonna go off, stay going off. Don't take it down. Just
that one. Yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't realize she took it down. That's a surprising move on her part. I guess, like, you know, once the media and everybody starts scrutinizing you, I can see how it can be a little like embarrassing. But
that's probably what it was. She wasn't used to all of that. Okay, last thing, we like to do a little trip down memory lane or a game or something like that. So we thought, in honor of the fact that we got the trailer for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, we would go back, since this is the 15th season, and maybe talk about our favorite moment from that first season of Beverly Hills. And when you think about it, it makes sense why it hasn't lived up to it. Because when I was thinking about it, I was like, wait, that happened in the first season? That happened in the first season? It's no wonder we can't get back to where we were, because those first seasons were just iconic.
I would say up through like seasons, like the first 3 seasons, I think, are some of the best that Housewives has ever been, in terms of the mix of characters, real drama, you know, Housewives drama, some iconic lines, and an iconic cast. I just think it's really hard to come back and beat any of in a real way.
Yeah. You're such a fucking liar, Camille. Gosh, I miss Camille Grammer. Even though I don't think that she'll be the same if she comes back.
I mean, Camille has sort of did the impossible when she came back as Saint Camille. I mean, has anyone had a better sophomore jump from reviled and hated to suddenly a low-key fan fave? Like, I think it should be like these late freshman housewives who have a rocky season should study Camille in terms of how to do it, how to come back, how to bounce back from a bad first season. Because
she did that. And a bad marriage. Came back, you know, she came back in so many ways. We got our show, The Morally Corrupt Faye Resnick. That's our show is named after that. And then something that probably lives rent-free in my head once a month. I really think about the fact that Allison, the psychic, said to Kyle she will never be emotionally fulfilled. And then they're separated. I just always think, like, wow, Allison really played the long game when it came to the advice that she gave to Kyle. No one saw it. I thought it was a joke. I was like, they are end game. They have such, I mean, you never know what people are going through, but I was like, gosh, I just love their family dynamic. And it's all so beautiful. And they grew together to build this, you know, foundation that they have. And
speaking of their marriage, in the trailer for season 15, we got a sit down between Dorit and Mauricio, which is pretty brazen, I have to say, considering the rumors and the narrative that is out there that they're in love.
Right.
I couldn't believe that for the cameras they would do that, because it does feel like it's stoking the flames a little bit. I
couldn't believe Mauricio did it. I couldn't believe like Dorit, we get it. She and Kyle are not friends. But for Mauricio, and he's probably going to come in and say, oh, PK asked me to talk to you. I talk to PK all the time. I'm just trying to get an understanding. But no, just for Kyle's sake, that speaks volumes. I'm sorry.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. It speaks volumes. Well, I am looking forward to season 15. We know it won't be what season 1 was, or maybe even some of those first 3 seasons, but it will. I am hopeful it'll be good.
I gotta take it back and say up through season 5, even I think the show, because season 5 was Amsterdam. Season 5 was don't talk about my husband. Season 5 is have a piece of bread and maybe you'll calm down. Like that. I mean, the show. It really was when it was running on all cylinders. It really was kind of the best that we were given in that time period. Like,
was the bunny in season 5?
The bunny, I think, was in season 6 or 7. It was later because Kim was still on the show in season 5. So it was after Kim had left the show. So I think it was it was definitely later on in the game. But I mean, that single tear. I mean, Lisa Rinna, rather. I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing it like LVP would. But it was when she was, at her peak. I think she gave us so much. Yeah. And if you watch the Las Culturistas Awards, she is like prominently featured. And I have to say, I was in the audience watching her. I've been really rough on her as a housewife, but boy, oh boy, is she just so watchable. Live and on TV.
She is iconic in her own right. She is. I can't say I want her back, because I feel like it'll be like the Tamra Judge effect. I wanted Tamra back, and it's not good now. And I think that's what would happen with Lisa. But Lisa is good, and you can't take that away from her.
No one can.
You can't take it away. Oh, Joel Kim Booster, thank you so much for joining us here on Morally Corrupt. It's been so fun to have you.
I know.
You have to come back. Fun. We have to do it in person next time.
Well, you have to come on my podcast, Bad Dates, because I know my girl has some bad date stories to share with the class.
I have stories.
Yes, a story like hers has never been told before. So please, yes.
I would love to. Before the show, before Bachelor and after, I will tell you plenty of stories. So yes, we will have to do that for sure. Okay, TBD, everybody has to tune in for that. Please tell everyone where they can support the things that you're doing, where they can follow you, all of that.
So you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I think on Instagram it's I Hate Joel Kim. On TikTok, I think it's Joel Kim Booster. I don't use TikTok. What goes on there is none of my business. That is for the kids. But you can also check out the new season of Loot, season 3, which started airing October 15th and runs through December. And you can check out Scrubs, which premieres next year in February. And check out my special Psychosexual on Netflix, or my movie Fire Island on Hulu. And that's all I can think of. That's a lot. It's a lot of homework.
It is a lot. And that's a great thing. It's a great thing to have a laundry list of things that you're doing. And, you're working now, you're doing something. We're excited to see what you have next. You'll have to come back on Morally Corrupt. So thank you so much for being here.
And definitely in person, because we got to get tactile.
We
must get tactile.
No, for sure. For sure. All right. Thank you guys for joining. Have a great week. We will see you Friday, where we will be recapping all things Bravo. Until then, bye guys.